What's going on, faithful? We are headed down to Florida. That's right. On our way to Miami. We take on the Dolphins this week in Week 16's matchup. Let's get to it right after this. You ready, Mike?
Damn right.
What's going on, 49er faithful? Happy Friday. That's right. Welcome to the B.A.M show. It's your boys, the WayneBreezie, Mike Andrews in the building. It's Face Off Friday. And we got two teams, Mike, that are super identical, from the head coach down to the players on the offense, even down to the players on the defense. Like, these two teams are pretty much like identical teams. I feel like they're in the parent trap. What are your thoughts on the two teams?
Yeah, I think they have similar philosophies when it comes to team building, team structures, right? But there's some areas where the Niners, I think, edge them out. But it's gonna be an interesting game. Both of them even have, I think we have the same record, right? Aren't we both 6-8? Like, this is gonna be one of those, like, who wants it less, you or me or you? Oh wait, I should be positive. Who wants it more, me or you?
Right. Half empty, half full. Yeah, it's going to come down to, exactly what you said. I agree 1,000%. Niners are going in there, pretty banged up. They look like they're going to be a little banged up. They're going to be probably 9 times out of 10 missing one of their offensive threats in Jalen Waddle. He's dealing with a knee injury. He has been listed as doubtful. Mike, the Niners may be running into Miami without a starting running back. And the Niners are already on their 4th string running back. So, before we even get to that, right, because I do want to talk about, your key matchups in this game and your thoughts on the game. Mike, it's the holiday season, and people are in the spirit of giving. And 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy gifted his offensive line. And, I got an email from whatever the company is talking about it, and they reminded me that this actually went down. This was supposed to be a joke. Like, Brock Purdy, the offensive line was like, you should give us, because Brock Purdy got the deal with Toyota. He's endorsed by Toyota. I don't know if you knew that.
Yes, I did. I've seen the commercials during the games, yeah.
That stuff in the back and your truck felt like it's sliding from side to side, left to the right.
As soon as I get on the highway, you won't even hear it no more.
That check is so funny. But Mike, so the line was like, yo, man, you should gift us, Toyota trucks. Brock was like, all right, I got you. Like, Brock was like, I got you. This is back in October, the Brocktober month, right? When Brock was like, terrible. Anyway.
You couldn't help yourself.
I couldn't help myself, right? But Brock did do some gift giving. Let's take a quick look at how it kind of went down. Shout out to the 49ers out there. They put this out there for everybody to see. You can see.
Let's go. Toyota, baby.
Toyota, baby. See,
so
residency.
We got
residency
5
in the
Sequoias, 5 Tundras. You guys can check them out, but these are yours. So, Merry Christmas.
He said 5 Sequoias and 5 Tundras.
Merry
That's the
Christmas,
SUV.
Appreciate
That's
you
the
guys.
big pickup truck.
Thanks for all y'all do. Yeah, man.
And he let them all pick out which one they want.
Appreciate you. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for all you do.
Merry Christmas. Look at Cole McKibbitz.
Everybody down the line.
Jake Brendel gets a truck.
Yes, sir.
Spencer Burford gets a truck.
Okay.
Mike.
Okay.
They
now, you
getting
said
trucks.
this was a joke?
It started off as, I think, the offensive line saying, for Christmas, you should get us trucks because you got the endorsement deal. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Brock was like, all right, I got y'all.
So it started as a joke. So this is real.
No, this is 100% authentic, for sure. It just started off as like, that's like me saying, that's like you coming to me like, yo, Breezie, let me get about 10 of the residency hats. And I'm going to be like, yeah, for a small fee. No, I'm just playing. I'm going to be like, I got you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got you, and then I take care of you. You know what I mean? But you think I'm bull crapping because it ain't really go down yet. Like,
Right. You like this? All right.
I mean, wait,
I didn't want to ask you.
I mean, come on, man. I'm all about giving.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
Okay.
I don't like this at all.
Why?
This guy is making just a couple $100,000 a year.
Yeah, he makes about $1 million. Okay, keep going.
He should not be gifting out $500,000 worth of vehicles to anybody.
Why not?
It sets a bad precedent.
Does it really?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. And never mind. But yes, it sets a bad precedent. What's the gift going to look like after he signs a big contract?
So you're saying like, because he set the mark this high that the gifts got to stay? No, they don't.
You know how much a new Sequoia costs? Are you crazy?
Bro, I'm just saying, like, first of all, you don't know. All right, yes, I understand what you're saying, but that doesn't mean every year it got to be this high of a gift. He got the endorsement. I'm sure he got a nice little discount on these trucks, and he took care of his offensive line. First of all, the gesture is amazing. I love when quarterbacks take care of their offensive line. We've heard over the years of us watching football, quarterbacks taking care of their linemen, whether it's, jet skis. I remember a quarterback did jet skis for them. I don't know if it was like steak dinners or something. I don't know. It ranges. Right. It varies.
Zaire Franklin or his linebackers, the scooters, the electric scooters, they was like racing around the joint.
Yeah. So like some players, they tend to take care of him. The only person I didn't see get a truck though was Trent Williams. How many offensive linemen are there on this roster? I got to go to the roster. Hold on. I got to go to the roster.
I'm going to tell you the answer before you look it up. The answer is 8. But he said he had 10.
He said he had 10.
5 and 5.
So give me, okay, let's go through the 10 because I want to make sure Trent get a truck because Trent should get the Big Daddy truck, right? He should get the Optimus Prime truck, right?
Why you want to make sure Trent get a truck? Trent don't need no truck.
He don't need it, but he should get the prime truck, right? Because he's the prime lineman. And then got to get, it was cool to see him take care. So Nick Zakelj got a truck. Spencer Burford got a truck. Spencer Burford put some time in. It's funny because Zakelj has been sick lately, and he wasn't sick when he got this truck. You know what I mean? Like he's supposed to be ill, but I think this is a great gesture from Brock Purdy. I understand where you coming from as far as this precedent thing, but next year these cats getting Christmas hats. Like I already bought you a truck. Like, you know what I'm saying? and it's crazy because some of these guys might not be here next year, but they got them a truck this year.
All right, so I'm gonna be honest with you. There's two things. One, I didn't think this was real until they got to the part where Aaron Banks is about to blow the engine. He was in the parking lot gunning it. You cut the video off before they got to it. He told us to listen to it it's Purdy.
Y'all see it. Brock Purdy came through. Y'all see it, Toyota.
I gotta see the inside. It's nuts, bro.
These players are country.
Dude, this smells so good, brand new.
I'm gonna tell you what I think after this.
Bart's is trying to drive off right now, dude.
Look, gas. Listen to that Purdy. That Purdy.
You better block, motherfucker.
Let's go, dude.
Oh my
God.
Yeah.
If I ever thought that it was fake,
this is probably the greatest gift I ever got in my life.
That's Jalen Moore.
That's Jalen Moore. Moore,
where
man.
Is Trent?
Is
Trent done for the season?
I think Trent is on the scooter, bro. So I think he's gonna be shut down for the season, bro. Like I think you shut down Trent Williams. I know Kyle says he wants to get him back, but I think you shut him down, bro. Shout out to the Breezie Bunch crew out there, man. I forgot to shout you guys out. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Feel free to make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Feel free to become a member of the Breezie Bunch crew. And if you want to leave a super chat, go ahead and do so. You know how we do, baby. We love you guys. Happy holidays. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
No, that was the only thing I didn't like about it. No, it was two things I didn't like about it. One, maybe I'm just in such a bah humbug spirit about my Niners right now. I'm like, yeah, I don't care about this whole gift giving thing. Like, get better. Like, I felt like this was a giant Toyota commercial. I really did. Until he started revving that engine like that, because when you get a new car, you got to break a certain amount of miles before you go over a certain amount of RPMs. Like, it's bad for the engine, or at least it used to be. I don't know if it's still like that, but he was definitely in that parking lot just throwing them up, like just.
Well, I think he wanted
It
to
was
see. I think he was trying to test, like, to see what type of horsepower he was working with. With the, I don't know if he
right.
took the Sequoia or the Tacoma, right? Like I forgot which one is bigger. Like I think the Sequoia is the bigger one. I
Well,
can't
the
remember.
Sequoia is the big SUV, and
Yeah,
the Tundra
well,
is the only pickup truck that they have.
right. So I couldn't. The Sequoia is not an SUV though. It's another pickup.
Yes, it is.
I
No,
thought
it's not.
I thought the Sequoia, the Toyota Sequoia, was a pickup truck.
It's the one that's bigger than the Forerunner.
Right. It's okay. Toyota Sequoia. Yeah, you're right. It is the big one. It's the big daddy
You
SUV.
know
You're
what?
right.
They
I
did
would have
have a
took that
little.
though. I
You're right,
guarantee you,
actually.
Trent Williams took that one.
They had a Tundra is the big pickup, and then they had a Tacoma. I don't know if they still make the Tacoma, but the
That's so.
Tacoma's a
I said
little.
the wrong one then. So okay, I
Yeah,
got you. I thought it was Tacomas and Tundras, but they gave away Tacomas, right? And Sequoias.
Tundras and
They gave. I
Sequoias.
thought he said they gave away Tacomas. My bad. All right.
Yeah.
So look, man, I think this is a great thing. Shout out to Brock. I'm telling you right now, Brock just signed a $60 million deal per year. I guarantee. Listen, bro. Listen, he signed that deal, bro. Brock Purdy will be with the 49ers for the next 35 years, bro. They probably.
Well, I tell you what, I got something to be excited about. I haven't seen Kyle Shanahan have a quarterback for 4 years straight, so this will be
Good
exciting.
point. Good point. Great point. Mike,
Never done it.
we talked about players being out for the Niners, right? And I think we all know that the key to victory in this game is to find a way to run the ball. You know what I'm saying? I think if you could pick one thing on the offense for them to do, it would be run the ball. Not for you? Okay. I'm just curious to know what will you be your one thing. Go ahead.
No. They got to air that thing out, man. I don't even know who these running backs are. No disrespect to Taylor and Abinaconda. That's not what I mean by I don't know who they are. What I'm saying is, if I'm depending on the results of a game, I got to go with the quarterback. I got to go with the Debo. I got to go with the tight end and Kittle. I got to go with the offensive lineman that I know. I got to start falling back on Jawan Jennings. The run game now is just going to be a sprinkle. That's the Jimmy's on top of the cupcake. But right now, the main ingredients are going to be the pieces that we know. I'm
I agree.
not dependent on the running back.
I don't think I didn't say depend on the running back. I said depend on the run game. So there's a big difference. So you got to run the ball. Period. Like you have to run the ball. So they're gonna have to figure out how to fabricate the run, whether they're using a Debo Samuel, a Ricky Pearsall, a Jacob Cowing, they're the running backs. Like obviously they're gonna use the running backs. Like they're gonna probably try to penetrate inside, try to see if they can get 3-4 yards of carry that way. Abanikanda is the outside zone. He has the speed to get to the outside, so he'll probably get some work. We may see the veteran Keyshawn Vaughn as well. Just as your 3 running backs on the roster for this week. But I think this is a week where Kyle's is going to probably, use some of those jet sweeps and things like that. And this is where we can possibly see rookie Jacob Cowing get a play at what we saw him do in the preseason. I don't know if you remember the preseason game where he had that big jet sweep. And this might be an actual game where Kyle tries to match speed with speed. Like, you know what I mean? I think they trump us with speed, but they got some speedy defenders, and I think that's where Kyle's gonna, try to match the spread them, wear them thin from sideline to sideline. I think that's where I'm trying to go. So I don't disagree with using the weapons. I just think we got to still find a way to run the ball. Even if it's Brock Purdy in a pass, nobody open, taking off, running the ball 10 yards, 7 yards. Brock Purdy's got to take what he can get as well. Like, I think he's part of the run game now. Like, he has to participate in that if he can get outside the pocket. What are your thoughts on that?
I like what you're saying. I mean, you're taking it at face value. You're basically saying give them a reason to try to stack the box. Like, give them a reason to play close. And if they don't have that reason, they're going to take away the middle of the field. They're going to take away the throwing lanes, and we're going to struggle. So I do understand what you're saying, where the run game has to be successful some way or another. Whether it be Brock, whether it be Debo, Abinaconda, Taylor, like, somebody's got to get out there and run the juice. Someone's got to run the ball successfully to make them respected. You can't make this offense one-dimensional. So I get it. I like it.
And it's funny because, like, I talked earlier, like, when we introduced the show, and I want to know what you guys think out there. I mean, when I say that these teams are like Cobb and Carp copies of one another, I mean, you look at the way that the receivers are built. I think they have more speed out there on the outside, but it starts with Tyreek Hill. You know, he's going to probably be one of the hardest players to match up against, you know, when you look at your matchups, because now you're talking speed, talk about a guy who can run routes, talk about a guy who can get open. Is this going to be Diamador Lock? Like, is this the guy that Diamador Lenore locks on, whether he's in the slot, whether he's outside? I'm curious to get your thoughts on that, because when I look at Tyreek Hill, bro, I understand he's having a down year, but he's still a threat on the football field.
Yeah, he's still dangerous, you know. And I was watching. I know this is not a Madden simulation, but at the end of your Madden simulation, they gave that man the ball on that little sweep away. He got around, his legs moving so damn fast. I was like, yo, like, is Madden trying to show us just how fast they really think he is? Anyway, on Wednesday night, I was at my bowling league, and there's this diehard Dolphins fan. He was like, yo, Mike, I heard that Tua might not play against you guys on Sunday. And I said, I haven't heard that at all. He was like, yeah. He was like, apparently they're trying to keep it under wraps, and there's a chance that Tua might not go. So I don't know what he was talking about, but I will say that part of the down year for Tyreek Hill is the inconsistencies at the quarterback position. As soon as Tua went out, you had Hill and Waddle basically available on waiver wires in every fantasy league out there. No one wanted to touch those guys because they just were not producing at all. The quarterback does make a difference for the Miami Dolphins. And Tyreek Hill's speed has got to be one that's respected. I don't care if you get him the ball 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage or you're throwing it 70 yards downfield with air yards. He's a guy that can get past you and in a hurry. So they've got to respect that. They're going to try to take advantage of the 49ers. There are some guys in that secondary that can be beat with speed. I would try to get a mismatch with him and Ward. I would try to get a mismatch with him and one of these older safeties. It depends on who's going to be playing safety for the Niners, right? But that's what I would do. I would be trying to figure out how to get him lined up against anybody not named Diamador Lenore. Lenore is the only one I'm not worried about Hill going up against.
Yeah, I mean, and I agree. I think the Niners need to do their best job at keeping everything in front, and then they got to just play fundamental football, right? Like swarm, wrap, tackle. You know what I'm saying? We just talk about this one player. They got a bunch of dynamic weapons that I wanted to, talk about. I know you said what you think that the Dolphins will try to do and get the mismatch, but if you're the Niners, my question is, do you put Ward on him? Is that the key matchup? Is that who we lock him down with for the game? Not Ward, Lenore. Lenore Hill?
Yeah, I think so. Mainly because he's going to be an emotional spark, and they're at home, right? As soon as he touches the ball down there, you can hear the crowd. It's just a different energy when he touches the ball, and so you don't want them to get going emotionally if you're trying to win this game. You want to take everything away from them. Your best effort and the best way to do that is to put your most short-handed, your most consistent corner on their emotional spark, their wide receiver.
Quick question, Mike. The last time we played the Dolphins, we did defeat the Dolphins. I remember Brock Purdy came in the game, got the dub. That's the same game the Dolphins took the lead in, though, right? Like in the first play of the game? Because I missed the first play of the game. I can't remember if I was at this game or not.
Yes, it was a big play to Trent Sherfield.
Trent Sherfield. I brought that up because I wanted to ask you, do you remember if the play was a jet sweep?
It was not a jet sweep.
Or was it a throw, like down the field?
It was a short throw, and I think like he just got a good angle on the safety.
Yes.
Out of position, he just took off.
I think it was Talanoa Hufanga who he beat. All right, so that was speed too. Like we talk about speed, angle, whatever. I brought that up because do you feel like the Niners need to be prepared for these quick games? We're worried about taking away the deep threats and not getting beat explosives down the field. What happens if they do another underneath and Mike McDaniel comes out with an early play where the safeties are out of position. Talanoa Hufanga will more than likely be out there. Malik Mustafa, who's dealing with a chest injury possibility, but it might be Jair Brown again. And these are safeties that do struggle. They're young, but they struggle with the angle portion of their position. Do you think that the Niners need to be prepared for these type of routes?
Yeah, highly likely and highly probable, right? So the one thing that I think is different between the Niners and the Dolphins as far as like how they build their team, the Dolphins quite literally pride themselves on speed, right? It's like if you had to line up 5 guys in a relay, 4 guys in a relay race, like the Dolphins 4 guys that they pick are probably going to beat any other 4 from any other NFL team, right? Like they just pride themselves on getting those type of players. And so that's kind of what you gotta watch out for, that kind of thing, right? They wanted Mostert for that breakaway angle defying speed. They wanted Tyreek Hill for that breakaway angle defying speed. And then guys like Trent, no slouch in the speed department either. There's even Waddle, who may not play now. No slouch in the speed department. These guys they're big, they're fast. They have the tight end now. He's one of the faster tight ends in the NFL as well. And so the Niners, like, while we build our team, I don't feel like speed is the focus of the Niners. I think quickness is more of the focus for the Niners, not speed. These guys can get a foot in the ground and just take off on you, and they're going to outrun you in a straight line, right? Niners are like, we got to be shifty to create, and then we can catch the ball and do a little bit of damage on angles. They don't necessarily need the angles. They can get the angles also, but they don't need it as much as the Niners do.
Yeah, man, very well said, bro. Like I feel like that Mike McDaniel is going to come out. Luckily, they don't have Trent Sherfield anymore. I forgot which team he's currently on, but he's no longer with the Dolphins. But if Jalen Waddle doesn't go, remember River Craycraft? He'll probably be next up on their thing. They got the rookie Malik Washington as well. D. Eskridge is also dealing with the injury, so there's a possibility he may not play in this game. But they do got some wide receivers that we are familiar with, a couple of young guys, but you know what they predicate them off to? Speed, right? And so you didn't mention Devon Achane, so I need to know how that's a key matchup. Like, how do we match up against this kid that is pure speed? He's speed, outside zone is his game, and he's going to be looking to get to the outside. Who do you got making sure that they cover him? I mean, it can't be just Fred Warner. Because they're gonna enforce that outside zone, and then if you do take away the run, right, you do force him to be one dimensional. Here comes the screen game, and so it could be a big Dre Greenlaw game, like, right. So, like, my question is, Mike, how do you match up against Devon Achane?
That was it right there. You said it. Big play Dre, man. You know, hopefully he's better. We didn't see him much in that second half. I think he played one play in the second half. I haven't looked at the film close enough to do the breakdown of last game, but the Niners are beat up at the linebacker position, guys. Let's not act like, you know, this is a secret. Once Dre went out, they wanted Campbell to go back in. DFF was down. Like, we were paper thin at the linebacker position, and we go and we remove Campbell from the team. And mum's the word on linebacker Dre Greenlaw. Is he ready to go? Can he play a full game? We don't know. But if and when he's in there, that is your difference maker. That is that speed, meat, power, and he's got speed too, by the way. I'm not quite sure that he's slower than Fred Warner. I'm not willing to bet that. I don't know that a healthy Dre Greenlaw is any slower than a healthy Fred Warner. I don't know that to be sure. I know that Fred used to be a safety, you know, I get it. He's got the more slender build, but that dude, Dre Greenlaw, is chiseled out of, like, the finest granite. He is all muscle. People talk about, like, body fat percentages for Christian McCaffrey. I'd be interested to know what Dre Greenlaw is when he's 100%. So he's got that power and speed, and he's very electric out there on the field as well.
It's interesting that you said that, because I think speed-wise, I think Warner is faster. I think Dre Greenlaw's play recognition is ridiculous. Like, that cat knows when it's a run or pass, and so he automatically looks faster, right?
Maybe
like,
that's what it is,
yeah. Like, oh, they running it, and he the first one in there on the tackle. Oh, they throwing it, and he knows to back off. And we take those little tidbits, and Fred Warner is top of the game at that too. But I think Greenlaw's play recognition and committing to the play is is on point. We take that little bit of stuff for granted, and that's why our linebackers they struggle. Like that's why it's hard to replace Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw. It's not just because of their physicality, their ability to play fundamentally sound football. They understand what's going on the football field. We don't ever talk about play recognition, bro. That's a huge piece in this defense. Huge, right?
If play recognition was good for everybody, we wouldn't be worried about guys like Hufanga and Jair
We
Brown.
wouldn't be worried about guys like Hufanga. We would not be worried, bro. Not at all. Not 1 second. Not 1 second. And I think Hufanga's play recognition is more superior than the rest of the safeties. Like, that's crazy, right? But you expect that because even though he's young, he's still more of a vet. He's still more of a vet between Mustafa, Brown, those younger guys. I'm curious to see if we get George Odom back this week. I believe he was practicing. He wasn't on the injury report, so that might be good for special teams. Mike, any key matchups you got, man, that you feel like, we talked about some of their guys on offense, but if you had to pick a key matchup, man, like who you going? Because they got some defenders. Like I don't want you to think that their defense is a slouch, man. They're top 10 in everything except for scoring, right? And so they're just outside the top 10 in scoring. So they stop the run, they stop the pass. They don't give up a lot of yards. They will give up almost 24 points a game. So I'm curious to know though, what you got out there.
I'm gonna start with the offensive side of the ball. Their tight end Smith. Smith, right?
Jonnu Smith, yes.
Jonnu Smith, yeah. I mean, he is really coming to his own over there in Miami. I'm liking what he's doing out there. He seems to be the perfect outlet when the other guys are blanketed or taken away. And so I think he's going to see this him versus Fred Warner is definitely going to be a major, major matchup of mine. Key matchup here. We're talking about moving chains, sustaining drives. I think that's his role in this game. And if we can win that matchup, I think we can have some, third and longs go our way if we win that matchup consistently.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like you gotta. I wrote about him in my biggest threats for Web Zone, and I said, listen, he's a person that'll extend plays. He's a person that could be an explosive playmaker, and he's probably their biggest threat in the red zone. Right? It's not the running back. It's not Tyreek Hill. It's this guy. Like this is who. You want to know why Tua is a 70+% completion percentage quarterback this year, and it's because not just because he missed a few games in football, but because he has a guy that he can rely on, and he gets the ball to Jonnu Smith. They got a few tight ends, but I feel like Mike McDaniel is working him like we work George Kittle. Like it's not all about the blocking. They are good with letting him be a pass catcher down the field, and he is second in receiving on their team with over 700 yards and 5 touchdowns. So Jonnu Smith is definitely cooking. I don't know. You mentioned a linebacker being on him. I mean, I need Greenlaw to be, because I need Fred to make sure, depending on the formations they come out with, like the personnel, whether it's 12, whether it's 11, 21, whatever. I need these linebackers. If Dre Greenlaw and Fred are out there, I'm great. I feel confident that Fred knows in the Mike, he's taking the running back out of the backfield. Dre's got to pick up whoever's coming out down the field, whether it's a tight end, and vice versa. Like if they had to switch the roles, like I'm confident in that. My issue is when they throw you a 3-by-1 formation and they put the tight end on the same side as 2 wide receivers, and they leave Tyreek Hill on the outside by himself. So somebody on an island out there, right? If you're playing whatever safety's Island boy. My bad. Somebody's got to help. Whichever safety's at the top, it's got to help Tyreek Hill. I mean, you don't leave Tyreek Hill single covered unless you said it's Deommodore Lenoir out there. I think you're confident in that, right? Bro, which safety is going to be able to stop this big-ass tight end, bro?
You want to know my honest answer?
Yeah.
Brown. I think Jair Brown.
If he makes the tackle.
Matchup.
Yeah.
Right, but I don't know that he even sees the field in this game. That's my issue. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that he's even gonna get out there, bro.
I think he starts. I don't know if Malik is gonna be good to go because of the chest injury, and I don't think you risk it. You give him another week if need be. You got safeties, got to use them. That's why I said I wonder if George Odom will be healthy this week. He wasn't healthy last week, so you get another safety out there that if anything goes down, you can kind of, rotate him and Jair Brown or whatever. You had one more key matchup, though, because that was a good one. I like that one.
I do. I'm going to flip it around now. I want to see George Kittle against whatever tight ends they have out there on the field. We haven't done a face-off where we did position for position and see who's going to have a better game in a while. But I think George Kittle's going to be the key to this offense down the stretch of this season. I don't know a better leader on the team right now. I don't know anyone who's producing better than George Kittle and more consistently right now. I mean, the ops that he's given, he takes the most advantage of right now. I'm definitely going with George Kittle. Be our emotional spark. We talked about just exactly what Tyreek Hill means to the Dolphins when they're at home, right? What does George Kittle mean to our offense when he gets going, when he gets up and he does his first down sign, or he gets up and flexes, or, he gets a pancake block and he's like, yeah, let's go, run it again. Like, just all kind. George Kittle is that emotional spark for the 49ers. So him versus the field, man. It's Kittle versus everybody as far as I'm concerned. But I'm imagining they put linebackers and safeties on Kittle, right? But that should be a matchup in our favor now.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like you could take advantage of their linebackers out there. They do run a 3-4, but I think that's what Kyle's going to be looking to do. He's going to try to find a way. This is why I said earlier you got to find a way to establish this run because you want to take advantage of them over the middle of the field. They do got good safeties. They got Poirier out there. Remember, he used to be with Buffalo Bill. They got some good defensive backs out there as well. So it's not like it's going to be a cakewalk. They got a really good secondary, good nickel back as well out there. And so, you try your best. They got the rookie Javon Holland, and if not the rookie, he's the second-year player. I do apologize, or third-year player. But my point is, that's who you want to try to take advantage of, right? You want to go after the kid from Georgia who's a little young out there, and find a way. George Kittle will have mismatches all day. There's not a safety in the league, I think, that can cover him. There's damn sure not a linebacker that can cover him. It's going to come down to Brock Purdy exploiting this matchup and him having, him delivering an accurate enough pass to hit George Kittle. I looked at the film from last week, and, George Kittle was open on some of those missed throws. Like, you know what I mean? And so George Kittle had his man beat against competition out there. So I like those two key matchups, man. I like the tight ends going at it battle to battle. Which tight end do you think perseveres? Because Jonnu Smith hasn't had a bad week in like 9 consecutive weeks, bro. Like literally, I know I got him in fantasy football. So
yeah, I'm going. I say George Kittle edges him out here more out of necessity than anything else. I think the Niners are kind of struggling offensively right now, guys. I'm not going to lie. But George Kittle being the constant out there, Juwan Jennings. Look, I'll be honest with you guys. In the game that Juwan Jennings led the Niners in, we lost, right? I mean, even last week, he was the leading wide receiver. He wasn't the leading receiver, but he was the leading wide receiver, and it still didn't bode well for the Niners. I think if you want to have any chance of winning this one, George Kittle's got to be the guy in this game here.
Very well said. Mike, I'm excited for this game because it's another 49ers football game, bro. And it's the game before Christmas. And maybe the Niners will give us a treat and get a win. Do you want the Niners to win this game, Mike? Or are you ready for offseason draft? Like, how you feeling? We got 3 games left, and it's going to be the longest 3 weeks of our lives.
I do not want the Niners to win this game, no.
Okay.
No. You know what that means, right?
What does that mean?
They're going to whoop the Dolphins' ass. Like, this is it's going to be the opposite of what it should be. Just like we knew we were going to beat the Bears, right? It's like, come on, man. Like, the season, let's let go and let God. And they were like, nah, we're going to beat the Bears. And then we're going to end up going out beating the Lions. And it's like, oh, everyone's hopes are going to get up. And we need a tie at the end of it all to win, stop. Like, just let it go.
The 0.1 or 5% chance, 0.5%. Excuse me. Sorry, let me make this clear. It's really rough because the Niners 0.5. First of all, they got to win, and then they also need the Cardinals to lose against the Panthers. Now we know that's not going to happen, and then they need Seattle to lose the next 2. They need the Rams to lose the next 2, and they need the Rams and Seattle to tie. Now, I mean, listen, there's
Go
all
play.
about this holiday miracles do be happening, man. I don't know. Can the Niners get a holiday miracle? I mean, how crazy
Oh, boy.
would this fan base go, Mike, if the Rams lose this week, if Seattle loses this week, and Seattle going to lose this week because ain't they playing Minnesota? Let me just double check. Let me just double check. All right, so the Rams got the Jets. Let's just say Aaron Rodgers got his team on a high right now. If Devontae Adams putting up those type of numbers, they winning, right? And let's just say that the Seahawks lose to Seattle. I mean, Seahawks lose to Minnesota. Would you start, and the Niners win, and the Cardinals lose to Carolina? Like, you wouldn't start to think that there might be more of a slither of hope?
I tell you what, I'm picking the Niners to lose. But if we win and those 3 teams lose, I'm gonna start talking shit like we going to the playoffs. How's that?
Okay. You heard it right here on the B.A.M show, baby. Mike talking, dropping bombs. I was about to say he was talking, but he gonna smack somebody in the face. If that all happens, Mike is on. I like it, Mike. I like it. I like it a lot. Mike, thank you so much, man, for just always being available, man, and just wanting to continue with this B.A.M. I appreciate you, bro. We got a long season to prepare for in the off season, but listen, we got 3 weeks left to give the faithful quality 49er content, bro. And let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's end this year with a big bang. Bang! Mike, take us home, baby.
We live all the time, kicking it with the fam, bro. That's Breezy. I'm Mike, and this is the B.A.M Show.